Yes, my name is Mossa, and I am a PhD student in veterinary epidemiology. My project is about agent-based modeling of the disease spread in pigs and wild boars. And during this work, I discovered Rust. Yeah, and then we magically made a publication that fit into my PhD in JOS, as we all were recommended to do yesterday. So what is ExtendR? ExtendR is Rust extensions for R. R is a programming language that a lot of scientists use. A lot of you are familiar with it. R provides bindings for C, C++, and Fortran natively, and the community itself has provided many other extensions. There's a famous RCPP and other implementations that binds other languages to R, and ExtendR is one such extension. Now, a few facts about R. R is an interpreted language, and the main R interpreter is written in C. R is the successor of another programming language called S. And another interesting tidbit is that R encodes the notion of missing values in its data format, which is characteristic like of data formatting like arrow also encompasses. So these things make creating bindings a little bit tricky. So even if R is written in C, actually the only access to R objects we are allowed is through an opaque pointer type called SX, which is a pointer type to another thing called the expression records. So we don't ever have real, we always have to go through this in order to interact with R. R has a garbage collector with some very niche techniques that one has to adhere to. And also R errors, errors in the R runtime induces C long jumps, and these are very unhealthy for stack unwinding. This is what usually happens when a Rust thread panics. And finally, it's very important for people that their R packages can be published on CRAN, the main package repository for R. But the CRAN has this limitation on the minimum supported Rust version of 1.67, which poses all different kinds of challenges. So to combat all of these things, we have ExtendR, and ExtendR isn't really one specific package. It's a suite of packages. These are all published on Crates.io or CRAN, and we have all of the repositories with issues, discussions, and PRs are available. And we encourage everybody to post their issues, discussions, and if you have a PR, we are very much open for contributors. Yeah, so the CRAN compatibility column is a very significant one. We spent a lot of energy on this one in particular because this is usually what most people really care about. ExtendR engine is meant to run R in Rust, and which means we need access to the we need access to things in the R API that aren't permitted on CRAN. So that's the only one where we violate CRAN requirements. Okay, so R users prefer to use R for everything. So our ExtendR package provides tools to write Rust code interactively and evaluate these Rust functions interactively. But if you want to use native code in R, the happy path is to create an R package and set it up so it mixes with Cargo and other Rust tools. And in order to do that, we have worked very meticulously on providing use ExtendR, which generates the project structure necessary to combine both the package building tools from R and the cargo and rest-c, etc. So just to introduce it a little bit here, description file is what makes a folder an R package, and this is the equivalent of our cargo TOML, and the namespace file is equivalent to all of the items that are made public in a Rust crate. I'm not necessarily going to talk more about this. Yeah, and finally, if you change the Rust crate, you have to update the namespace file, and we have a function that does this called rextendr document. So that's it. That's everything you need to know to use ExtendR and start writing Rust code for R. We have a user guide that we are working on continuously to better the experience. One such article in the user guide is a walkthrough of writing a binding package for a Rust kit called heck. So this is like from 0 to heck. We also have a very nice community of R and Rust enthusiasts on Discord. You are very much welcome to join it. And finally, we have a community member and contributor that has published several videos on using ExtendR, and one video on building geohash using Rust is again a 0 to a hero walkthrough of how to use ExtendR. So if we can go through some code examples in the last few minutes. So this is what you will have on your Rust side to be able to take a scalar from R and manipulate it and return it back. Here, the X argument is copied to Rust, and the extendr proc macro provides the +1 function to the surrounding R package. Then here's another function that shows that we can export strings, and the comment annotation makes the hello world function available to other R packages, and this is one that changes the namespace file. We also support modifying data in place, so you can accept values from R as a mutable slice and change it, and then this would change the passed-in value. This goes against R's clone on write semantics, but this is where you can get a lot of performance from not copying on every mutation. R CAPI only has integers and doubles and bytes. So those are the only ones where we can safely provide you with mutable slice access to. And finally, for NA awareness, we have Rust wrappers for all of these that you can use to check for a missingness in your ExtendR code. And then almost the crown jewel of ExtendR, it's the ability to pass Rust data to R and make it owned by R. So we have this very innocent struct. And if we annotate ExtendR on an impl block, we can use normal Rust code to make it all available in R. So you can modify the data and you can return it and everything. And a very nice feature we landed recently after many, many months of deliberation is the ability to return a reference to oneself. This allows a method chaining of Rust methods and Rust objects within R. And also a serialization. This is an example of where we take an arbitrary Rust struct and we can serialize it into an R list with little modification necessary. I'm about to run out of time. So by and large, ExtendR, we have implemented a lot of the high-level stuff, and we now are more than happy to welcome new contributors and discussions and suggestions, because the ExtendR vision is more or less complete. My personal agenda is to add more low-level binding tools so that advanced R package authors have more fun using ExtendR. Yes, thank you for your attention. My timer says 10 minutes. Please visit the main website for more information about ExtendR.